So almost every business nowadays talks about the digital and technological revolutions that are happening. And so why is this so important? Like, how did we get here? And what will happen in the future? So I'm going to talk about these questions, and to do this, I need to talk about two topics. First of all, like the industrial revolutions that led us to this point. Like when we were primitive humans, we didn't have all the machines or electricity that we have now. And so how did we get from those times to having computers and phones and everything digital? So these were the revolutions. The first one was like in the 1800s when the uh, first machines were introduced, like they used coal and fuel and those kinds of things. Then in the 1900s, we started using the electrical machines, which were using electrical power for the first time. And well, that is not too relevant to the digital part because it's like the ancestors. But in the 1970s, it was when everything started going digital. It was when we started having the computers. We had more intelligent machines, but they weren't like nowadays. This was the third revolution. We had machines that used chips and electronics, and they were like the CNC machines. They were like controlled in a different way, but all of them used like computers. And well, this led us to the same revolution. Like, well, one was industrial, and when we had computers, we also began with another revolution, which was technology. And we can say like web, for example, like they created the World Wide Web, and we had this. And so it has three iterations. We have the first one, second one, the third one. And well, we also have industrial revolution, we have the fourth one, but we need to like connect how these two are related. And so with web, which happened at the same time as the third revolution, first we had like static websites. It was like the old times. We had like in 1990s to 2000s and even 2005, when we had websites like MySpace or just browsers like Yahoo and all those things, which were just like read-only and weren't really centralized because, well, you had like, you can enter many browsers and you can see things on the internet without really like making many profits. Like the most profitable thing was making things like digitally. You had like places where you can write emails, and it was like more like work was more efficient, but it wasn't really centralized, or there wasn't like a monopoly in there. And so what happened with this is that it evolved with technology so that we could have more complex software, and we had connections and social media and centralizations. And so the architects, the software architects of those times designed it so that one platform should be dominant and everyone should be on that platform. And for example, like if you want to send messages right now, you have to use WhatsApp. You have to use many social media that are often like the property of Meta. And so this means that if you want to have like a new service in that kind of software, you really wouldn't prosper because, well, Meta is like a big company and has everyone, like if you say, okay, I want to send messages to someone, you're almost forced to use WhatsApp. Unless there's like another app that is a different niche, like for example Discord. Discord isn't necessarily from those companies, but the thing is that it covers different niches. Like you have communities, you have a different market. It's like for gamers or people who really are into tech, compared to WhatsApp, which is for everyone. And so the thing is that this is an exception, but often with companies that would want to like innovate in this place, they don't really have the option because, well, it's not possible. Like the competition is too harsh, and so often we get into a place where you have to either sell your company to someone bigger, which is like really profitable. Like you often sell it from millions or billions, depending on how good it is, or you can just like say, no, I want to like grow it, but it really won't happen because, well, like they will often like just make a copy. Like for example with Instagram and Snapchat. First of all, Snapchat was the one that I created, like the idea of stories, but they couldn't really like make a patent on that, so it wasn't really like an how can I say, like you cannot make something your property if it's just like short videos. And so Facebook, well, Meta did the same with Instagram, and well, you know the story, like TikTok and all that. And so that happens a lot. And well, how does this connect to the industrial revolutions? So you have Industry 4.0, which is a really, really common term here in Tecnología Monterrey, and you have Web 3.0. Like these are connected. And first of all, let me give you a little insight on what this school does. And so I have talked with people who studied computer science, which is my degree, in the past, and they talked about like how different it was. Like at that time when computers weren't really that advanced, you had people who studied like, well, a little bit of programming, but most things were also like, you could say, mechanics and the materials, some electricity. Like it's like at that time, engineering was like just a few degrees, and most were like the most similar one is right now is mechatronics. Like it was a really generalist degree, and you didn't have all these fields that you have right now. But well, the thing is that this school often like adapts to that market, and so right now we have like degrees that are more specialized, and in this case is with like relating like Web 3.0 and industry to these degrees, which often like often says like how important it is to dedicate to these new technologies. It is that well, the objective with the new things is to make something like decentralized and in the cloud and like more efficient and intelligent and all those things. But really, the two of them are possibilities and will happen, but some of them are like in early development and not really worth it for many people. Like for example, if you go to the industrial part of it, you can say that many people don't really need robots because well, they are really expensive, and often it is the really big companies that can buy these, but not everyone else. Like for example, I have seen that it is like a 30-year loan plan to just buy these robots and start making a profit from them. And so many companies just don't have the means to buy those. But well, what happens the same is with the Web 3.0, which you say, oh, all right, so we're not okay with the monopolies that have created like Meta, Google, and all those. And so, well, Alphabet. And so they want to kind of decentralize this, but it's also something overhyped by venture capitalists. And like the thing is that if you do this, it's almost like creating the dark web, but for everyone. Because if you have decentralized and no one is regulating, you will often lead to having like a dark economy when people can sell anything and everyone is anonymous. And well, that has many implications and also moves the power. It doesn't decentralize it. It's like the same as communism. Like, well, you can say everyone has power, but it's not the reality. Like, there's the problem with hackers. Hackers can access everything, or even like the people who really have a lot of money will also have the power, and so you're just shifting the power. You're not really changing from the idea of a monopoly. Like, it's a different monopoly, but it's still a monopoly. And so, with all this, what can we do right now? So, first of all, we need to accept the fact that we're already in a technological world, like it's what's new, and everyone is using it, and so it's at least important to be aware of what's happening and see how can we take advantage of these technologies, like for our jobs, because well, there's many things that you can do in the computer, and almost every job is right now being done in a computer in some sort of way. Like, you need that. And so it is important to be like at least a little proficient with technology. And also, you can use it for many other things. Like, for example, communications. We can now talk with people who are in different countries. We can make relationships like that, and be it business or romantic, like everything works. And finally, it is also important to know that we can do really interesting things right now that we have computers, because there's also like the market of video games and virtual reality. Like, almost like the limit that we have right now is our imaginations, and well, it's going to be supported because it has proven to make money. It is really good, and it is like the evolution of humanity is like right now. And so to conclude this, I would recommend you to just learn more and be aware that our society is more technological right now. Thank you.